If you're looking for the beginner mirrorless camera in this year, you are at the right place. In this video, we're going to show you the beginner mirrorless camera available on Amazon today. We reviewed literally dozens of products, and we made this list based on a number of factors including the features of the product, value for the money, and the reputation of the manufacturer. Also, we've included options for every type of customer. We even read countless reviews from actual users. If you choose from this list, you can be sure that you'll buy one of the best products available today. So make sure to check the product links below in the description. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Fujifilm X-T100 mirrorless digital camera. The Fujifilm X-T100 is a great camera and it packs a real punch. Fujifilm designed all of their cameras in a retro style that you'd be forgiven for thinking meant that were outdated. But that couldn't be further from the truth. The X-T100 is built like a tank from a mixture of metal and high-quality plastics. The dials give you full control of the camera settings without having to dive into the menu, which is why most Fuji shooters fell in love with the brand. Fujifilm has released a newer model called the Fujifilm X-T30, but it is considerably more expensive. For the few extra megapixels and other upgrades like an improvement in eye tracking autofocus, I don't think the extra expense is worth it for beginners. Fujifilm hasn't discontinued the X-T20, which makes me wonder if they think the same way I do. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Fujifilm X-T100. The next camera on this list is another Fuji, the Fujifilm X-T100. Although it is a step down from the X-T20 in terms of performance, its price reflects that. While the image quality isn't as good as its cousin, the X-T20, it still has all of the features you need to master on your journey to becoming a travel photographer. Like all Fujifilm cameras, it looks cool and its build quality is second to none. The X-T100 does have one main feature the X-T20 doesn't have though, a flip-out screen. Great for people who like to take selfies and vloggers. While we're talking about vloggers, we should mention its video capabilities. Vloggers might get excited about its ability to shoot in 4K, and then quickly disappointed to find out it only does that in 15. The 4K footage it produces is pretty much unusable in most cases, just something worth noting. The number 3 position is held by Canon EOS M50. Canon does now offer full-frame mirrorless cameras, but even the cheapest, the Canon EOS RP, is outside of most beginner budgets. The build quality of the M50 is good, not quite like the Fuji's, but it feels solid. A really nice feature is the in-body image stabilization, IBIS. For a camera at this price point, it's not often you get IBIS. That means you'll get sharp images and smooth video footage when you shoot handheld. Like the Fujifilm X-T100, it also has a flip-out screen which, as well as having an external microphone input, is why it has become a firm favorite with YouTubers. Next at number 4 we have Sony A6000. The Sony A6000 is one of their entry-level models and would make a great first camera. The quality of the images and video it produces is superb. The A6000 originally came out in 2014, so it's not a new camera, far from it. And there have been newer versions released since then. But it was a great camera in 2014, and it's still a great camera today. Price is a recurring theme when choosing a mirrorless camera as a beginner, and the A6000 sits in the sweet spot between affordability and results. In terms of upgradability, that's a word right. The Sony A6000 is onto a winner. It uses the E-mount, which means any lens that you buy for the A6000 will work on any other Sony E-mount camera. The number 5 position is held by Olympus on the M10 Mark. The difference between this camera, the Olympus uses a micro 4/3 and 4/3 sensor, which is smaller than the APS-C-sized sensors in the others I've mentioned. The main drawback to M4/3 cameras is the reduced dynamic range, meaning they are generally inferior in low light situations. However, the size and weight of their lenses are considerably less than other cameras, making them great cameras for travel photography. The Olympus also features IBIS, which, for a camera in this price range, is a luxury you don't often get. The number 6 position is dominated by Panasonic LUMIX 100 4K mirrorless camera. The Panasonic LUMIX 100 is a fantastic mirrorless camera for beginners. This camera is ideal for those looking for a quality camera, as well as a video recorder. While this camera is suited to vloggers and very popular with vloggers, it works exactly the same for anyone who isn't interested in vlogging and just wants a high-quality camera with great videography abilities. The reason it's popular with vloggers is that it actually features directional audio tracking. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Nikon Z50DX format mirrorless. The Nikon Z50DX is one of the best mirrorless cameras for beginners. This camera produces great images and has a pretty good video recording quality. The Nikon Z50DX has a megapixel sensor of 20. This is a pretty standard quality. It'll still produce great photographs, but it's definitely not the highest megapixel on the list. For that reason, the Nikon Z50DX loses some points, but it doesn't take away from the other great features that the camera offers. The number 8 position is held by Canon EOS M50 Mark Roman. The Canon EOS M50 Mark Roman II is a lightweight mirrorless camera that is ideal for beginners. The megapixel sensor on the Canon EOS M50 Mark Roman II is excellent at 24 and creates incredible images, even in dim lighting. That's thanks to its noise handling features. It has a good autofocus system, and the autofocus is effective when recording 1080p video, as well as photos. Another great feature of the Canon EOS M50 Mark Roman II is that it has a guide mode on the menu. Next, at number 9, we have Fujifilm X-T100 mirrorless digital camera. The Fujifilm X-T100 is an entry-level camera produced by Fujifilm. It's an incredible mirrorless camera and is ideal for beginners. This camera uses a 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor. The autofocus system is decent, as the sensor is equipped with a phase detection autofocus. This camera produces incredible photographs that have insane color. The image quality of this camera is surprising and definitely something beginners will appreciate. For a beginner camera, the Fujifilm X-T100 is pretty fantastic. It's not the very best beginner mirrorless camera, but it's certainly an incredible camera that has tons of photography potential. Finally, the number 10 position is dominated by Olympus OMD Mon Mark Roman III. The Olympus OMD Mon Mark Roman III is an incredible mirrorless camera that is great for beginners. This camera tends to retail on the expensive side, and while it is a camera suitable for beginners, it's also extremely high quality and has some amazing features. The Olympus OMD Mon Mark Roman III features in-body stabilization, which is necessary for reducing handheld camera shake. This is an incredible feature which really upgrades the camera, because this feature tends to be only installed on more expensive cameras. The reason it's so great is that it prevents blurry photos, which is very common with handheld cameras. That's all for today. If you've already used any of these products, do let us know by commenting below. It will help others to a worthy buy. Thanks for watching.